What I've been doing is restoring the wood sections around the windscreen and also the tops of the doors and top of the dash. I've been using a product called Polywipe, which you just wipe it on with a rag. Finish is not too bad, but you can actually see the grain in the lacquer that's been applied. So what I decided to do is to actually rub it back and flatten the surface, a bit like you do with Duco on the body. You apply the paint, it fills the pores in the grain, then you rub it back. I've rubbed this back with 240 dry. It seems to be fairly flat, and now what I'll do is to reapply the poly coat. I might put up to 10 coats of poly on it, depending on I guess the final finish I want. I don't know whether I'll end up with a complete glass finish, but it'll certainly be a lot better than it was. So I'll just put a bit of poly on this rag here. It's a remarkable product. It leaves no marks. You have no brush marks. Very little dust adheres to the paint. I just find it now when working with wood to use this product rather than I wouldn't bother spraying, and I certainly wouldn't ever again use a brush, because no matter how hard you try, you can't avoid getting brush marks. And apart from that, yes, you can rub it out, but this, you need very little final preparation to get an almost perfect finish. So that's the coat starting to come up. This timber, I wasn't sure what it was, but I'm pretty sure now that this is solid walnut. When I removed the veneer from the wood that was on the door cards and on the dashboard, that appeared to be straight grain walnut. Came off quite well. Once again, better than I expected. Just a bit of heat and a wet rag. Apply the heat with an iron, and then just lift the veneer off. So it came off very well. I'm hoping that it will go on just as easy, and I'll use hide glue to put the veneer. I'm putting a burl veneer, but I'll use that to put the burl veneer back on the dashboard. But at the moment it's winter, it's a bit too cold to be thinking about applying veneer, but the days aren't too bad. It's getting about 20 degrees, so I thought I'd do a little bit of the timber work that I can do just by hand. No gluing, the paint will dry, it dries very quickly, and as I say, ends up with a beautiful finish. Alright, there's the first coat. One of many. I'd say I'll probably end up putting 10 coats on. It will really give good texture to the timber, and hopefully quite a nice pleasing gloss. Now this is the result of the work I've done for the woodwork on the top of the doors and around the windscreen and on top of the dashboard. Now you can see from the photos that that it's come up, well, pretty well like new. Not sure what it was like when it was new. I certainly wasn't around when this car was made, but it's taken me 22 coats of a product called Poly White, which I just have here, and all that is, it's a polyurethane lacquer. You wipe it on with a rag, very thin coats, but that piece of dash there took 25 coats. After the first 10 coats I rubbed it back with 320 just to flatten the surface, and then put another 15 coats on, rubbing with 400 dry in between coats. The final preparation after the final coat, just a simple rubbing with orange oil. I didn't even bother rubbing it back, the final coat. It's beautiful to touch. The grain has come up quite nicely. Same result with the ends of the windscreens. They have come up quite nicely, fairly flat. The grain is almost completely full. Tops of the doors, they've all come up remarkably well, particularly when you consider what they were like when they started. Now, that's what I started with. That was the condition. That's off one of my other cars, but that's the same condition that this one on this side was when I started. So you can't judge by the way things look originally as to how they'll look when it's finished. And I guess that's part of the thing you need to, or the mindset you need to have when you're restoring cars, is that you don't look at what it is, you look at what it should be and what it will be, and then you work towards that. So this has come up quite nice. I'm quite happy with the finish on those now, and I'll store those away until I'm ready to do other pieces of the woodwork.